challenge is he won't be posting bail before we have the opportunity to come back.
The bail is set for the Grantsville teen who killed his mother and siblings.
The Utah legislature kicked off its first session of 2020 on Monday.
Shutting down several cities is an unprecedented attempt to have a curtailment of an outbreak.
The coronavirus continues to spread, but China is ramping up its efforts to contain it. Welcome to Newsline. It's January 28th, 2020. I'm Emma Benson.
And I'm Sierra Phipps. Tens of millions of Chinese people are on lockdown due to the Wuhan coronavirus.
More than 4,500 cases are confirmed in that country, but the disease is spreading elsewhere, including the U.S. John Lawrence reports.
China says it's sparing no effort to curb the Wuhan coronavirus. That includes putting partial or full lockdowns into effect.
The idea of shutting down several cities is an unprecedented attempt to have a curtailment of an outbreak.
There are more than 4,500 confirmed cases in China with dozens of deaths, and the virus is spreading elsewhere.
We have sustained transmission from person to person. That has to be interrupted, or this can get out of control even more than it is.
There are at least 5 confirmed cases in the U.S., but the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention expects that number will rise. This week, the Virginia Department of Health investigated 3 potential cases, 2 of which were negative. Results for the third are expected later this week.
We're very fortunate because we have a unique pathogens unit, the only one in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Health officials say they can't detect the virus simply from the symptoms, which is why a patient's recent travel history is an important factor.
So people who have arrived from Wuhan, China, that specific information combined with their symptoms is how we identify who needs to be evaluated further.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The CDC is monitoring passengers for coronavirus symptoms at several U.S. airports, including JFK International in New York and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International. Delta Airlines is also waiving its change fees for flights to China through next month.
Bail is set at $4 million for a Utah teenager who authorities say methodically killed his mother and 3 younger siblings. 16-year-old Colin Haney appeared in court for the first time yesterday afternoon. He is being charged with 10 felonies, including aggravated murder and discharge of a firearm. Prosecutors are charging him as an adult because of the gravity of the crimes.
Be in contact so that they can start the process for getting counsel appointed.
Prosecutors say the teen waited for members of his family to return home and shot and killed them on January 17th. Colin told his father he wanted to kill everyone in his family except himself. The next hearing is scheduled for February 4th. Police have arrested a man who they believe kidnapped a Hunter High School student who was walking home from school. Police charged 43-year-old Creed Cole Luan with counts of aggravated kidnapping, assault, and rape. The Granite School District says the Luan kidnapped the girl near her home. The girl later escaped from the suspected kidnapper, and her friends found her close to the school. Granite School District also says that the kidnapping didn't happen on school property, but they did notify parents by text and email.
The Utah legislature is now underway and in full swing. The 2020 legislative session kicked off Monday. Legislators are reconsidering the tax overhaul, which sparked voter backlash and a movement against it. The referendum opposing the repeal has gathered more than 117,000 signatures as of this morning. The proposed repeal would have lowered income taxes, but food and gas prices would have spiked. Legislators will also vote on many bills during the 45-day period, including medical marijuana laws, vaping laws, and rights for transgender kids. Tanning for teens is here to stay after the failure of a bill that would have restricted it. Representative Brad Daw sponsored the bill in an attempt to keep minors out of the tanning bed. In 2012, a bill passed successfully that set provisions on Utah tanning. That law now bans kids 18 or younger from tanning unless they bring a note from a parent or doctor. The attempted bill failed in the House 42-33.
Police say a man abused his girlfriend while doing DoorDash deliveries. 36-year-old Drew Robert Harton was arrested on Monday for aggravated kidnapping and assault. Police say that he wouldn't let his girlfriend leave the car and threatened to kill her. Investigators say there was a 3-year-old child present in the car. Help in abusive relationships can be found by calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233.
Police are looking into claims that a West Jordan puppy store drugged their dogs.
This dog is drugged. They're all sedated.
This video of the non-responsive dogs got thousands of shares on Facebook, prompting outrage in the comments below. The puppy store released a statement later saying the puppies were just worn out after a long day of playing. Attached is a video of puppies happily playing one day later. West Jordan Animal Control inspected the puppies and found nothing out of the ordinary.
5 Village Inn restaurants suddenly closed in Utah. The Orem, Sandy, West Jordan, North Salt Lake, and Roy locations have all closed their doors. A Village Inn spokesman says the decision was driven by many business factors, but those exact details were not made public. The employees who wish to stay with the company will be relocated to another location in the market or will be provided a severance package. There are still 9 locations from Ogden to St. George that remain open.
Air pollution shortens the life of the average Utahn by 2 years. That's according to a new study released by Brigham Young University. The report says pollution affects more than just sensitive groups. Although air pollution does not directly cause death, it leads to a variety of health problems that may result in death. Air pollution causes more than 100,000 deaths each year in the U.S. alone. That is almost double the amount of deaths caused by car accidents. BYU researchers hope their study will motivate people to take action and join clean air initiatives.
Utah's unemployment rate reached a record low of 2.3% in December. Utah added more than 47,000 jobs to the state workforce in 2019, putting the total number of jobs in Utah at more than 1.5 million. The private sector created a majority of new jobs in the state, increasing 3.6% since 2018. The largest private sector increase was in education and health services, followed by construction and professional and business services. Low unemployment and high job growth rates make Utah a strong and positive environment for those who are seeking a job.
The Provo City Library is hosting events that will bring families together. From snowman hunts to story times to family craft nights, the library offers a variety of activities every day from Monday to Saturday. The activities are not limited to children. They also have how to buy a home classes, yoga classes, and hairstyling classes for adults. You can find all the information about events going on at the library on their website. Hundreds of people got together in Provo to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Those in attendance enjoyed cake, crafts, and presentation on Chinese traditions. Chinese New Year follows the lunar calendar. It's a time for people to gather together with family, set off fireworks for good luck, decorate with red lanterns and banners, and celebrate with parades of drums, gongs, and dragons and line dances. The zodiac sign for 2020 is the rat. Billions of people have celebrated this 16-day spring festival for more than 3,500 years. 8 people are dead after a boat dock fire in Alabama.
But you never expect something that's that devastating.
What other damages came from the flames and how other victims are recovering.
A helicopter saves 2 hikers who were dangling from a cliff. We'll tell you how rescues were able to avoid the danger.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation.
Today marks the 34th anniversary of the Challenger Space Shuttle tragedy. We'll take a look at the events that unfolded at the Kennedy Space Center.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker.
On your left.
Your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot. Your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, with early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
At least 8 people are dead after a fire tears through a boat dock in Alabama. The fire erupted yesterday, and fire officials say the flames expanded 150 feet across the water. 35 boats were burned. The victims were either trapped on the boats or suffered from hypothermia after jumping into the cold water. Firefighters say recovery work could last for 4 days as they continue to inspect the water and boats. It's been 34 years since the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded after takeoff from Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation.
On January 28, 1986, Challenger lifted off and exploded 73 seconds into flight. The explosion was a result of a rocket booster failure which ignited the fuel tank. All 7 crew members were killed, including Krista McAuliffe, who would have been the first teacher in space.
California first responders rescue a pair of hikers who were stranded on a cliff. The helicopter crew found a woman hanging from tree roots on the side of a cliff. You can see the woman falling until rescuers catch her and take her to safety. Both hikers were fine and reportedly refused to receive medical treatment. They appeared to have only suffered minor injuries. If you can't lift 230 pounds, you're about to meet a 9-year-old boy who is stronger than you. Tate Fegley started lifting weights about 18 months ago. Since then, he's been working out every morning. So far, he's broken 7 records in his weight class, 3 of them in a single day. Tate can bench press 92 pounds, squat 190, and deadlift 230. He says he never set out to break records, he just liked the sport.
The world continues to mourn the loss of NBA legend Kobe Bryant. We'll show you what celebrities are saying about his legacy.
Artwork kind of keeps me grounded and helps me breathe a little bit.
An artist is using a childhood toy as her canvas. We'll show you the masterpieces that she is creating without a paintbrush.
Find out where we'll see sun and when we'll see snow.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
The Los Angeles Lakers postponed tonight's game against the LA Clippers as the city and its fans continue to grapple with the loss of one of its biggest stars.
Meanwhile, the NTSB is asking for any photos that may have been taken Sunday morning showing the foggy conditions in the area of the helicopter crash. Daryl Forges is at the Staples Center with more.
Tributes continued pouring in Monday, honoring the life and legacy of NBA great Kobe Bryant. From daytime TV,
we got tragic news about Kobe Bryant, and everything changed in a second. Life is short and it's fragile.
To late night.
When we'd run into each other over the years, we'd laugh about that night that we first met. We'd laugh at all the good things that had happened since.
At noon local time, radio stations across Los Angeles went silent for 1 minute and 8 seconds Monday in honor of Bryant's number 8 jersey.
Right now, please share this moment with us.
All this as loved ones wait for word on what caused the helicopter carrying Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others to crash Sunday morning. The NTSB says it could be weeks or months until the answers are found.
The wreckage is just a part of an investigation. There's a lot of information that we request as part of investigation. I'm very confident we'll determine the cause of the accident.
But for now, memories are what people will hold on to.
He was always just someone that I could rely upon. You know, he made time even when he didn't have time. And that's a true testament to, you know, who Kobe Bryant was.
Planters is reportedly rethinking its plans to kill off its Mr. Peanut mascot in the wake of Kobe Bryant's death.
Oh, look out! Oh! Abandon that!
The company said in a statement to the marketing magazine Ad Age that it has paused all campaign activities to be sensitive to those impacted by Bryant's death. The pro basketball legend and his teen daughter were among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash Sunday. In an ad release last week, Planters killed off its spokesman of 104 years in an explosive car crash.
Most people struggle to draw a square using an Etch-a-Sketch, but Indiana artist Carrie Johns is wowing her customers with her impressive designs.
I would definitely think of myself as a big kid.
Her favorite medium has nothing to do with paint or a brush. A child's toy is what she's using for a canvas. You'll remember it well.
Hey, Etch, draw. Go!
The good old Etch-a-Sketch. Her work, though, is far from child's play. Like most of us, John started trying her hand at this when she was just a kid.
Just practice and practice and practice.
It didn't take long for her to get good.
I'm like anyone who can do that on an Etch-a-Sketch. I mean, I can't even make a box.
Now she can crank out a small Etch-a-Sketch piece of art in an hour or two, faster than Buddy the Elf can make them.
I made 85.
Just about everything you can think of, I've drawn.
The Coliseum, the greatest, this Louisville lady's first home.
Wow. I mean, that's really a wow piece.
Even some local newsman. Is this the ugliest Etch-a-Sketch you've ever done?
No.
When there are mistakes, she has no choice but to draw her way out of it or flip the Etch-a-Sketch over and start again.
There's been many times where I've had to erase something.
Believe it or not, there's part of this process that's tougher than the image itself, keeping the finished product intact for paying customers.
You really have to be patient with it, so it kind of makes you slow down a little bit.
Every twist and turn of these knobs may be the respite Johns needs from a busy life, but her work is the flashback to a simpler time in childhood we could all use.
The 2020 Sundance Festival is breaking records, and Robert Redford's legacy continues with the film by his grandson.
Alessandra Harris has more on the festival. Alessandra.
The film Palm Springs set a new acquisition record at the Sundance Film Festival by only 69 cents.
It's a lot of different styles are within the movie, and I don't often read things where I'm genuinely laughing out loud while I read it, so I was like, let's do it, let's make it.
The comedy film by Andy Samberg and Lonely Island was sold to the indie distributor Neon and the streaming service Hulu for $17.5 million and 69 cents, breaking the previous record set in 2016 by the film The Birth of a Nation, which sold for $17.5 million exactly. Robert Redford came out of retirement briefly to play a role in his grandson's film Omniboat that premiered at the Sundance Festival. 3 generations of the Redford boys have been involved in filmmaking, and the grandson Dylan Redford said that their whole family has been entirely invested in their work. The Associated Press posted these photos of the dynamic duo. When asked about his filmmaking career, Dylan said that he didn't really have a choice. He was born into it, but he has always been supported by his family and by his grandfather in particular. It's the work that he wants and loves to do. Robert Redford has been content to recede as the face of the Sundance Festival, claiming that it has gotten so big it's beyond his control. With Dylan's career just beginning and Robert's receding, it will be exciting to see how much more the Sundance Film Festival will continue to grow.
Today we have our ski report here at Snowbird, and we see that there is a lot of fog and cloud coverage, but that has not been stopping skiers this morning heading down the mountain. So if you're headed out to ski today, just know that there might be low visibility. Going on to our radar on Utah today, we see that there's some cloud coverage, but nothing too major. We see some in northern and western Utah. But going into Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see a weather system coming in from the Pacific Northwest that's going into northern and eastern Utah, giving us some snow. On to our highs and lows of the day. Today's temperatures, we have mid-40s in the Salt Lake and Provo area, Logan 39, southern Utah, St. George at 58. And for our lows, we have 26 with Logan, Salt Lake City, Provo 30s, and again in St. George, we have 32. Going on to our 5-day forecast for southern Utah, we see sun, sun, and more sun. So expect sunny 5 days with highs in the high 50s. Going into Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see higher highs with high 60s and 68s, lows in around the 30s and high 30s. Going on to our 5-day forecast for northern Utah, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see some snow. So don't quite pack up those snow boots yet or that coat. It's going to be a little cold, but going into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to have some cloud coverage. We're going to see a little bit of sun breakage. And then our highs are going to stay in the high 30s, low 40s, and then jump up to the 50s on Saturday and Sunday, with lows staying in the high 20s, low 30s, and in the mid 30s as well. So we're going to have about 2 more days of snow, 2 more days of cold, and then it'll warm up around the weekend time, which I'm pretty excited for.
I cannot wait for the weekend. I am not a huge fan of snow, so that'll be really good when it starts to warm up this weekend.
Hopefully it warms up fast.
For sure. And speaking of warmth, BYU Golf has started their spring season. See where they are competing and how they are doing. And athletes around the world are honoring Kobe Bryant. See how the Jazz remembered Kobe in their game last night.
Always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind, yeah. You can be the greatest, you can be the best. You can be the king, come banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You could talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. Don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself. Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name.
The BYU men's golf team is starting its spring season at the Southwestern Invitational in California. After day 1, the Cougs are in 10th place after having their second round cut short due to darkness. BYU will finish playing the remainder of their second round holes today and then complete the third and final round. For the second time this season, number 2 BYU men's volleyball has swept the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation weekly awards. Opposite hitter Gabby Garcia Fernandez received MPSF Offensive Player of the Week, and setter Will Stanley earned MPSF Defensive Player of the Week honors. The Cougs will look to build on their 8-match win streak this weekend against number 3 UCSB. For the second time in the Australian Open, Roger Federer pulled off a wild comeback victory and proved he is still capable of accomplishing the near impossible.
Does Federer have another great escape in him?
Down 2-1 and on the brink of elimination, Federer ultimately came back to win in a tiebreaker. Federer will continue to test his luck tonight in the semifinal match against Novak Djokovic. NBA legend Kobe Bryant's death has impacted people all over the world, as shown across the globe at the Australian Open. To honor the basketball superstar, attendees wore Kobe attire while players Nick Kyrgios and Rafael Nadal paid emotional tributes. Kyrgios also wore Kobe's number 8 jersey throughout his match. The game between the Lakers and Clippers has been canceled this evening out of respect to the Lakers organization due to the devastating death of Kobe Bryant. The Clippers agreed to honor the Lakers requesting to postpone tonight's game in aftermath of Kobe's passing, as well as his daughter and 7 other people. The game will be rescheduled at a later date. The Jazz continued to play part in paying tribute to Kobe Bryant in their game against the Rockets last night.
And in Kobe's honor, he wore 24, he wore 8,
and they will take a 24-second shot clock violation.
In honor of Kobe wearing number 8 and 24, the Jazz took a 24-second violation at the start of the game. The Rockets followed suit with an 8-second call. Fans also paid tribute by setting up a memorial outside the Vivint Smart Home Arena. The Jazz were outplayed by the short-handed Houston Rockets, losing 126 to 117. Despite all three of the Rockets' best players being ruled out and Houston being on a back-to-back, the Jazz struggled to make shots. Eric Gordon dominated, leading the Rockets with 50 points, while Donovan Mitchell had 30 for the Jazz. Utah now heads on the road for a 3-game road trip against conference teams. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Thanks for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/Newsline.
Have a great day.
Thanks.